Welcome back to Beekeeping Basics with Danny. So, it's been an interesting time since the last time I went in there to now. But first and foremost, I want to start this off with just thanking all my new subscribers and your comments and all that. Really appreciated. You know, it's one of the reasons why I've done this, so you can all follow my journey. You know, watch them from the beginning if you've picked them up all the way through. It's been an interesting journey, and I'm sure it's still going to get interesting. We've still got, you know, a little way to go. So big thank you to all the new subscribers and all your comments and everything else. Much appreciated. So we came in here 6 days ago. We looked in that one, that was perfectly fine. The nuke was fine. We found the queen, didn't get round to marking her. It was a bit of an aggro. Since then, I've had another swarm. I do believe that one that I caught wasn't my swarm, but I'm pretty sure the one that I caught Saturday morning is from this hive. And it must be to do with the fact that, yes, I let a queen go, which we all see in one of the videos. I let the queen go in the hive, but I left supersedure cell there, and there was another one at the bottom, and theoretically, you know, the queen can go off and she can go stinging all them queen cells, killing off the queens, but then again she might not. So I think what's happened is she potentially went out, got mated, come back. As soon as she was back, the other queens may be ready to come out, may have even come out, and they've just swarmed. That's my theory in what's happened. So we're gonna go in that one. It's been 3 weeks nearly, something like that, since we've been in this, maybe 2, can't remember, but we're going to go in this one because this one's interesting. I'll need to see what is going on, whether we've got a queen in there, whether we've got any more queen cells going on in there. Now is the time we need to look into this hive. We need to see what is going on. I added a super on there, I think it was about Thursday before it swarmed on the Saturday, because it was busting with bees and it needed that super on there. So we've introduced the super on there. And what I'm going to start with first and foremost is this hive, because I'll need to check into here, make sure everything is how it should be. There's no queen cells corrupting in here. Don't want any more swarms. I really don't. I haven't got the room for them, you know. So we're going to check this one as well. I've got a brood box down here. Yes, it's not a super, it's a brood box. You know, with the weather that's been hot, they've been busting these supers out. So I'm going for a brood box onto this one. Some say you can, some say you can't. You know, it's just gently. They're going to work on that. They're going to fill that out. Now's the time for them to start working on the honey on it. Yes, it's going to be heavy, but hey ho, that's what we're going to go for. So, no further ado, we'll get into this hive. Okay, so like I say, it's going to be interesting. Not so much this one, but we need to do our checks. Currently none of them are running on any feeders. I have been busy over the last week. I've been keeping an eye on them, and they have been busy bees. So we have a sticky super, and to my surprise they haven't touched that super at all, so there will be no need for that. Just really surprised me. There'll be no need for the brood box, and I thought they would have worked on this. I really did, but as we can see, they've not even touched it at all. So that has surprised me, really surprised me. I don't want to go putting a feeder on it or anything like that to entice them. I don't feel that I should have to do that, so I'm not so sure as to why they've not come up here, but we will see. What we do is right, so like I say, I just wanna, I mean, it's bursting my bees, so I really don't understand why they've not decided to come up and start working on that super. Well, at least we know they've got the room. That's one of the main things, that they have room. So just have a check through this. I mean, really been working on these in here. They really have. So see where they, you know, they've had a bit of room, so they build the comb out to suit the room that they've got. Capped over honey there, looking lovely. Look at that, absolutely gorge. Again, we're checking for the queen, make sure she's not on here, because I'm going to put this to one side and she can come up here, because when he just took the queen excluder off of that brood box. So, you know, what I potentially could have done was kept the queen out of this and just had a honey super for myself, but I'm very surprised in the fact that they haven't come up to that top super yet and started working on that. I really am. But I don't know if you can see down in here. See if I can get the camera over. See where they build it out, where they've got room, they bring it out to the comb. They fulfill every bit of room possible. So again, I'm not going to hang around too much with this, because I really want to get into the other one. So some cap brood on there. So we know the queen's been coming up here. I've got the smoker on behind me, but they're such placid bees, don't even need to use the smoker. As you can see, what I'll probably do is take that comb off that they built up here, because otherwise it's a case of getting putting that frame back in its same place, so it kind of fits in what it's got there, which so that's what we always do, keeping the frames over the hive, because it's just in case our queen's up here. She's definitely been up here, because we've got a lot of cap brood there. Look, and we'll find that as we work our way into the middle, we will find that. So what I'm going to do is swap this one over for that one, because ideally the way they've combed that out is I need to put this one back in, so we'll get that one back into there. Just makes my life a little bit easier. When we go to putting these back in, because I slide them all this way, see, and I generally like to put the last one in there, but it's getting a bit possible to do that now. Impossible, should I say. So we've got a nice strong colony of bees. Hopefully this is going to be good for the winter, because they'll be going into the winter with this super. And had quite an expensive week this week. Went out and bought my honey extractor. So I'll be doing a video on that very shortly, opening them out the box, putting them together, showing you what's what, And if anybody says beekeeping isn't cheap, they're correct. So if you're new to beekeeping, you want to start beekeeping, like I say, this is my journey, and I try to tell you people how it is and what to expect, and you know, all the rest of it. So it's not cheap. You always need something, but upside, once you've got it, it's like anything, you know, once you've got it, you've got it. So, you know, it's always a positive. Initial outlays, yeah, they're not cheap. But we're doing a video on that, setting that all up. It's a full frame extractor. It's got some other bits and pieces with it. So stay tuned for that. Just bought another nuke box. I'm now on my third nuke box, and I've also ordered some supers to extend them, because my theory with them swarms, obviously they went in with empty frames, so we've got a good, not so much now, but from when I done that one over there, we had a good 21 days before, maybe a little bit longer, before any bees were gonna likely to be hatched to you know, for that to start multiplying. So that takes me to the end of July effectively. I'm gonna try and keep them in the nuke box, because I'd like to overwinter them in them nuke boxes if I can. That's why I'm going to introduce a super on there for them, to give them the space that they need, and they can build their stores out on that as well. So that is my plan. Now, like anything with beekeeping, whether that works is another story, but we can only try, can't we? So we haven't come across the queen yet. I mean, look at that honey on there, you know, absolutely amazing. Nice and calm the bees are today, as I always like. Again, really worked on these, really good. So what I may actually do to entice these bees up higher into that other super, and some of you may have been screaming down your iPad or your phone or whatever saying, Danny, get a couple of them frames from that super and get them up into the top super, draw the bees up the top. If you've been saying that to yourself or your phone or whatever you're holding, that is what I'm going to do, to try and entice these bees up to start working on my super that I want to harvest myself, because this is theirs and this one's looking absolutely lovely. So that'll be the plan. Again, I'm new to this, so I'm not 100% sure that's going to work, but research tells me it will. Just like if you put a feeder right there or bring them up. So we haven't come across the queen in any of this, and hopefully we can fit this one in there. And I won't move any of them out yet. Hopefully we can fit this one in there. And I won't move any of them out yet until I'm ready to. So where's my hive tool? Give these bees a bit of a smoking. Just get them down slowly. And what I'm hoping don't come across any kind of queen cells, because like that there, don't know what that is there. That's fine, it's only a bit of comb. Yeah, don't want to come across any kind of queen cells, because we all know they cause you problems. It certainly caused me problems in that other hive, and with the research that I've done, trust me, next year when I get queen cells and what have you, I won't be doing what I've done this year, leaving it. Everybody says, yeah, leave it for 3 weeks. No, I don't believe in that theory. Once you've seen queen cells and you start knocking them off, if you just leave them, they just build them again, and they build them quick. So I feel that you need to keep on top of it. Go in there 3-4 days at a time and keep knocking them off. Otherwise you just get these problems that I've experienced. Lots of queen cells, lots of swarming, but again, I'm new to this, so I'm running with it. And from one of my first videos, when I introduced myself to YouTube, it was always, there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed catching them. The only thing I haven't enjoyed is when it's gone over the next door neighbour's garden. Luckily, although I did tell him, I did say to him, I'll let her to write a note, because fortunately for me, he was away all weekend, so I had to climb his fence, open his gate up, and was in and out of his garden catching the swarm back. But I enjoy catching the swarms, I've got to admit. It's good fun. And because I was in the garden, I did film the last swarm catch I'd done, because that was out on the pathway. Because I was all in a bit of a flap Saturday morning with it all, I wasn't getting the camera out and everything else. It wasn't happening, which is a real shame, because the way they landed, they was hanging in the tree first, which if they'd stayed in that tree, for me, would have been ideal, because I could have leant over, cut the branch, lifted the branch with all the bees on it, and just dumped them into the nuke box. But unfortunately for me, it wasn't like that. They went from the tree that was all hanging in, and they went down into a bush at the bottom. It left me no alternative other than to go down, get in his garden and get them. Now, we haven't come across the queen just yet. And if you see that one there, that's a lot of drone brood going on there on both sides. But I'm happy with what I'm seeing right now. This time of year they make drone cells. At least I have no queen cells. That is the main priority right now. That is what I'm potentially looking for. Still not come across the queen. There she is, there, with the red dot on her head, walking about, doing what she needs to do. So we found a queen, that's main priorities. So we'll get that one back in there, nice and gently. Push it back up tight. And we won't bother that one anymore. Some people take the queen out so they don't damage her and so forth, but I like to do it this way and just drop the last frame in without causing any damages or any squashes. Like I say, the next hive is the interesting hive, and I will be looking for an unmarked queen in there as well. There can't be any more uncapped queen cells in there, surely can't be. But I just don't know right now with it all. Like I say, for 2 swarms, I don't believe when I went through that hive that the first swarm was out of that hive. I'm pretty sure though the second one was. I'll come out here. I have got it on my camera. I've got a camera up on the bar there that's always filming this, and you can see him coming out. Let's see if I can get that off that screen recorder off my camera and show you guys. And I wasn't flooding out of it. It was a bit of a strange one. When I've seen swarms on YouTube or whatever, they kind of race out the door, the entrance, they're piling out. These wasn't. They was, I don't know. Whether swarm here, whether they're intrigued by my hives and they try to get in these hives. I'm confused with it all. And that is looking absolutely perfect for me. I'm really happy with this hive. All I've got to do now is, like I said, we'll just move. Sorry, I'm standing over the camera again. Do annoy me when I do annoy myself when I do that, but I'm right over the back, so we can drop that one in there. Nice and gently. Take that off because they're intrigued in that. Keeping them away from the edge. So when we drop the super on there, we're not squashing any. That's so, oh, and that is very heavy. That is heavy. So you know, if that's heavy, a brew box is going to be even heavier. And that is one of the reasons why. So we'll move this over. We're going to quickly do the swap. So we'll take, if you go for some of the outside ones like this, it's, oh, maybe not. What I'm looking for is just like a honey one, really. Like that. And we're going to swap that for that. I'm going to take that one out, put that one in the middle as well of this one. That's how we're going to do this. That's cat brood on there. Actually, you know, I may go with that cat brood because that also, I'm pretty much guessing, helps. It brings up the worker bees to nurse bees, one or the other, to that frame, just to help them out. Right, so we're now ready to queen excluder it. It's funny because although there's no smoke coming out of it because it's gone out, or it's got a little bit, they also don't like, it's like if you're blowing on it, if you blow on it, it moves the bees as well. So I'll show you now with that on there. So that's what we've got. Nice tight frames. cat brood on this one, honey on that one. With a bit of luck, we can entice these bees up to start working on these honey supers up here. So let's just move this little bee out of the way because I don't want to trap him in. Go down there, knock them ones out of the lid. And there we have it. Hive 2. Hey presto. Right, so we haven't been in this one for a little while. This one is the one that's had a lot of activity going on. Yeah, I put a super in here too, and as you can see, that's not been touched as well. You know, the swarm, if it was from here, clearly not going to outmatch. But what we'd do is we'd do the same with this as we did with that. I put this on a few days back for the simple reason this was packed out. So look at that, lovely honey, and this is going to be my super for my own personal use, and I hope I have a little bit more than just one, but if I get a bit, I get a bit. Now that is ready. Now I could actually extract that now and swap this for that, so that's something I may contemplate doing. As you can see, it's all capped over, absolutely beautiful, ready to be spun. Every single one is the same, and that, people, is honeycomb. Nothing more, nothing less. As you can see, no cat brood on it at all, and that is because the queen excluder is below this super, and that stops the queen from coming up, laying eggs up here, and that will just give you pure honey because she can't come up and lay eggs in it. So that is wunderbar. My very first super with capped honeycomb in it. I'm really chuffed with that, really pleased with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this off. Oh, and that's very heavy. We're going to move that off, and we'll put the crown board back on it just for the time being. We don't want anything disturbed. Now, this is the interesting bit. I'm now looking for a queen, or any queen cells, or anything along them lines. So we've got a super, which is theirs on here. It would be very similar to the one that we've just looked at. We'll have cat brood on it. So we're keeping our eyes peeled now from every frame that we pull out for any kind of sign of a new queen. Now, straight away, that there, am I right or am I wrong, is a queen. Now, I need to do what I always forget to do, and I need to get her out, double check. I didn't have this to hand, and now I've lost where she went. Where did she go? Sugar. There she is. Right there. So she's looking for places to lay her eggs. Gently does it. Oh, caught her little foot then. And if we can just spin her over, because what I do is I get a mark on her, but I need her to drop down that way so we can hold her there and get the pen. Now, I didn't expect this to happen this quick, so this obviously makes life a lot easier, giving her a mark. Ooh, very fiddly, but we'll catch her just there like so. And as you can see, she's trapped just there, and she's now got the green dot. And then all we'll do is we'll let her go. Well, we won't actually let her go. We'll keep her in here. We'll keep her in here, so if we come across any more for any particular reason, we can do something about it. So that was a right result. First frame, boff, queen. I'm going to put that frame to one side. And you know it is the queen in there because all the bees have actually got in there with her and they're gathering around, checking her out, making sure she's safe. So we're going to put that just to one side, keeping her safe, and we're going to quickly go through the rest of these. Just checking through them all, seeing if we can see a sight of any other queen. Now, I do believe there's not going to be another queen in there. She would have killed it. But I need to see exactly what's going on with this hive, because drone there, he knows I've taken the queen out, so he's pestering me. I know they say when you have a swarm, they take a heck of a lot of honey with them. So anybody that's watching that's seen that first super that I pulled out, and now these supers that I'm pulling out with all this honey on them, I still have a good number of bees in here. Would you say that these have swarmed? Or do you think that I could potentially have caught another random swarm that potentially was trying to get into this hive? Like I say, I'm new to this. I don't know all the ins and outs of it all. But what I do know is, I know that they take an awful lot of honey with them. And at the moment, it doesn't look like they've taken any. Because these are as good as the top ones. She's not even laid any eggs in these, which is very surprising. She's let them fill this out with honey. So, you know, all the time it's like that, there's no reason why I couldn't take that as well. See, I still need to leave them for some up for over winter. they're going to still got time to do more of whatever they need to do. And also I would be feeding these over the winter period with baker's fondant as well. You know, it's essential to keep your bees well fed over the winter period, because if you do take any of their stools, i.e. this, you know, one of the reasons why a honeybee makes honey, we all know the reason behind that. Their food over the winter period. Their food in general. It's not just ours to take, you know, it's theirs. So, we're off to a good start. And I'm not going to release that queen in there just yet. What I'm going to do is put this super onto this super. So I just want to check through this, see where we're at with this. I'm going to do it as quick as I can. Oh God. So again, we look at that. So a big lump of honey on there. Just checking for any kind of queen cells or any untoward sights. I'm just going to put that one. It's a very heavy frame, by the way, just to one side, so I've got the room that I need. I don't know what that is there, but that looks like some kind of supersedure again, doesn't it? But what we're going to do is we're going to take that off. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Might be an old queen cell, but I don't want it on that frame anymore, so it's gone. So again, everything looks good. They're all flying around me. You see that there is an old queen cell. Let me get it in shot of the camera. It's one where a queen has actually come out of. It is empty. What we'll do is we'll take that off. That potentially was the one that queen had come out of. So we do know, because I released a queen in here. On my previous videos, and again there we've got an old queen cell. So let's go through this and see how many we've got. We'll take them out, and like I say, I got to there last time, the X. We had supersedure cell, we had a queen cell, and we had another cell. I took one off and I released a queen, and I left the others stupidly. So potentially I didn't go any further. I was like, well, I'm not going to bother it any longer. I didn't check these frames there on. So we don't know how many other queen cells were on this. So clearly must have been the last lady standing, queen. They fought it out. Or they did swarm because they had a queen. Actually don't know. I'm sorry I put my vow over the camera. It's trying to do all these things at the same time. And there we go. See there now, that to me is a queen cell right there. So I've got to remove that. That has to come off of there. I don't know whether that's empty. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Or whether there is a queen in there. So if there was a queen in there and she was to hatch, what would have been the outcome? Would that queen, that mated queen that I've got there, would she have gone off and killed that queen? Really no right now. We're also going to have a check. We've got some cat brood there. We're also going to check for any signs of her actually laying any eggs on some of these. As well. And doesn't help that I haven't got my glasses on, so it's always a bit of a and that was a queen cell there, that was a queen cell there, and that was a queen cell there, all hatched. What I'll try and do is take it off. We'll have a look at these after we've done what we've done here. So it looks like we had a number of queen cells. Again, that's another one there. I've took the lid off, but it'd been, that's the lid. It actually had been opened. It was a queen cell that had opened. You know, there was a lot going on in this hive. That's another one. You know, as you can see there. So it looks like we had a good number of queen cells going on. I left them to their own devices. Another one here, look, that had opened, as we can see. Can't get my... You can see there, that was one too. I had the lid opened on it where they'd come out. Just having a little look about. So that queen may have only just come back from being mated. Struggling to see any kind of new eggs at the moment. But we do have cat brood there, look, so that's good enough. We'll get this back in here. And this is the one, the X, where it all started. Now, that was the queen cell there that I was originally going to keep, as you can see. And I did leave it on there, obviously, as you can see. And it does actually have a dead bee inside that. Now, I reckon that would have been a queen, and she got to it before it emerged. We'll have a better look in that in a minute. It's, you know, it's sad, but it's the way these bees work. This is life. There has to be only one queen. So if they get there first, destroy the others, that is what they will do, and that is the way it will work. But for the minute, we do have a queen, and I've marked her, so, you know, lots of play cups, look. Just taking them off for any beginners. Play cups, they're just the worker bees practicing on making queen cups. That's all it is. All the time, they're not what we call charged. If they've got any royal jelly in them, then no threat to a beekeeper to worry about any kind of queen immersion. And if you do come across a queen cell and you're in the situation I was last time and you want to keep that queen cell, you don't hold it upside down. You keep it vertical as you can, because you can potentially drown her with the royal jelly, or they drown somehow. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but you can kill them. And that's what I was doing when I was going through with the queen cells. I was making sure I kept it vertical like that at all times. Now I can just spin them, have a good look, because I can now. We do have cap brood on there, so another good sign. I've not come across any other potential queen walking around in here, which also is very good. Beautiful. And we're back to a hive after doing the split and the queen cells and everything that I done. It's paid off, it's worked. I don't, like I say, I don't know whether I have had a swarm out of here. Comments would be absolutely appreciated. What do you guys think? Would you say I have, or would you say I haven't? Because I'm not 100% sure I had. So what we'll do is we'll get this back on. Oh god, that's very heavy. We'll get that back on there like so. And we're going to release the queen back into this one, because I do believe that one is it before. Yeah, so what we'll do is get myself out of the thing. And there she is, she's in there with the green dot on her now, look. She's all marked up. Oh. And I didn't see her drop in there, but I'm sure as damn it she did. So she's not in this queen excluder any longer. Let's see if I can see her. I can't see her, but maybe her there. She would have run off in there. What we do know is we have a queen in this hive with a green dot on her now. A new 2024 queen. And what we'll do is we'll get the queen excluder back on. Just checking around the vicinity, just double checking that for any reason she didn't go in there. There's no reason why she shouldn't have, but just in case something went wrong and she dropped on the floor. She does have a green dot on her now, so we do know. Yep, everything's kosher down there. So on we go with that to keep her off of these honey frames. On we go with that. Okay, so in fact what I'm going to do is, I don't know whether to put that underneath this or just take some of these out and put into here. I think what I'm going to do is put this super, this fresh super, under here. Like so. Put this super on top of that super. Try and entice them up. Get them working on that other one. We're get the crown board on. And we'll finish it off with the lid. Like so. So, just while we're here, this is cells that we pulled out. Now that one, as you can see, that was attached, so that was a queen that had merged out of that by herself. Now this one is still capped. Now I reckon that, again, she possibly killed that one under, or whilst it was in that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to open that up. We're going to have a look inside. So yeah, it was long gone. As you can see, it would have been a queen, but I reckon, again, what had happened is the sad story of she got killed long before she was ready to come out. by the emerging queens that was out before. So that's in that one, because what they do is they sting in through the sides, killing the queen while she's in her cell. If they get out before her, a bit of royal jelly that was in there, look. And then we have this one again, which is going to be the same scenario. Though it was capped off at the top there, I can see a bee in there, which I do believe, again, similar sort of thing. That would have been a queen bee. Unfortunately, she got killed as well. I reckon they get their way in there and got her. So they was left with one queen. And it looked like we had about 5 or 6 queen cells going on in there at the period of me last being in there. Okay, so very successful visit. Really pleased with what went on there. Hive 2 we went into. Queen was in there. Didn't touch the top of the honey super as we saw. Didn't surprise me, to be fair. Changed quite a few, mixed them up a little bit to try and toast them bees up into this top honey super, and hopefully with the nectar flow and all that was going on, with 2nd of July, hopefully they start working on this one. We get this one done. This was the interesting one. It always was going to be the interesting hive. I thought I had a swarm out of this Saturday. Not sure if I did or if I didn't. There's still a lot of honey in there. I do believe when they swarm, they take a lot of honey with them. There is a lot of bees in there. Have I potentially caught another random swarm? I don't know. Comments, please. We caught the queen in our queen excluder, queen catcher. She goes in there. We trap her in there. Just bring that down, and then we mark her out as I've done. So lucky for me, as we saw, first frame I pulled out was the queen. Now when I was doing this, when I left the queen cell in there, and then I come across the queen cell and I took it off and the queen come out and I put her in there and I left the others, I've had sleepless nights thinking, have I done it right? Have I messed up? You know, I've been eager to get in here to see if I had a queen, find a queen. And yes, we've now got one queen in this hive. She's marked up, a 2024 Buckfirst queen. She's now marked up, daughter of this queen. We know this queen's done extremely well this year. So the sister, which is mated, you can tell that she's mated. 100% you can tell she's mated. I do have cat brood in here, so I think she might have done a start. Couldn't see any eggs. I ain't got my glasses on. So I think now my worry is kind of over. All the queen cells are no longer. What queen cells we did have in here with some dead bees in them, so obviously they've all had a fight out. They've killed some bees in their cells still. No more cells at all. One 2024 queen in there. She's got the new green dot on her. So over the moon with that one. Being my first year in beekeeping, you always worry if you're going to get it right, whether you're going to get it wrong. So yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm not going to go through the nuke now. It's too late to go through that nuke. Don't want to upset that anyway. But what I have got coming is a super that fits on these poly nukes. So I've got one for that one. And as it stands at the moment, the swarm that I caught Saturday is in a poly nuke, and it's round there on the table. And that is pretty packed out. So we've got a poly super to go on both of them. That one then I'm going to move away again like I did this one, so it does their inventoriation out, so I can then bring it back. So yeah, like I say, really pleased with that. Remember guys, if you like what you see, hit the like button, even share it, you know, all helps out for me. And like I said at the beginning of the video, a big thank you for all the new subscribers, for all the subscribers, and keep watching this journey because it's not going to end here. I feel there's going to be more exciting stuff to happen. We've got 2 nukes that are booming at the moment. So we've got these 2 hives. We're going to do a video shortly of all the boxes with the honey extractor and what have you in there. I could even start extracting that honey super that's in there. So we've got lots coming up. So keep watching guys, and I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.